we're all striving for enlightenment and trying to practice mindfulness, there are some people who are drawing it like it really is. Please welcome author of Unlightenment, Kathy Thorne.
Hey, Kathy.
Welcome to the show. All right, so Kathy, I was going through your book. It's so funny. It's so cute. What made you want to do this book?
Well, I've been drawing cartoons for 18 years now. Everyday People, that's the name of it.
Yeah.
And I was approached to do a book on mindfulness, and I thought, oh, wow, great, because that's where my focus is these days.
Sure.
I'm finding that I tend to be really hard on myself, and I tend to take life more seriously than necessary. And so it's my way of reminding myself to just have a laugh and take it easy.
That's why it's so great. I
Yeah.
feel like we can all fall into that trap sometimes.
Yeah, I think everybody is guilty of
Yeah,
being,
yeah.
we're all too hard on ourselves
Yeah.
sometimes, right? And forgetting to take the time to like relax and be in the moment. It's
Now,
fantastic.
that said, I was wondering, where do you get the ideas for the illustrations in the book? Like, where does the inspiration come from for these cartoons?
I find them everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll walk down the street and I'll have a thought, or I'll be in the midst of some, high self-made drama, and they're like, oh, that's funny, because it's so not unnecessary.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at your most popular cartoon.
Yes.
Today, I will live in the moment. Unless the moment is unpleasant, in which case I will eat a cookie. That is my life right there in a cartoon. I love that.
I wonder what the cookie symbolizes in this cartoon. Is it a literal cookie, or is
Well, but not just food, right? Like we all have our personal preferences for stuff that takes us out of ourselves, right? I know you've
Whiskey.
got a...
Sorry. Cheap whiskey.
I know you've got a book about being single,
Yes.
and certainly a lot of people have, just to get into a relationship, and that's
Sure.
single-focused.
Yeah.
Or I know you've had grilled cheese obsession in the past.
I've been obsessed with a lot of weird things, yeah.
So, or whatever, or even a thought. I know my hair. Oh my gosh, I could just.
What's wrong with your hair?
There's nothing wrong with my hair. That's the point.
that's
But
the
I
issue.
get, oh, I cut it. It's too short. It's too long. It's too curly. It's too straight. It's too, and it doesn't matter.
Sure.
The cookie is not the point. The
Yeah.
point is that we take ourselves out of the moment, where all the
Yeah,
pleasure and the peace is.
Yeah, we all can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You have another really popular cartoon that we want to
Yes,
put up on the screen here. Let's take a look. I'm eternally grateful for your presence, and I'll be back as soon as I can. Romance for the sleep deprived.
Listen, every morning when I get up, I talk to my bed. I'm like, lover, I'll be back as
Stroke
soon as I can.
The cool side of the pillow and
Yes.
say, oh, that was
I
nice.
love you. You're my
I will
favorite.
see
I
you
do
later.
that. That's hilarious.
Love
That's the-
affair.
The breakup.
But that's the
every
thing
morning
about the
is hard.
book. There's these little cartoons that anyone can kind of relate to, right?
That's what I hear. People's reaction is very much, I can relate. Thank you for saying
Yeah.
what I was thinking, kind of thing.
Yeah, you're reading our minds.
A little.
Making us laugh at the same time.
That's-
All right, so let's talk about the title, Unlightenment. Why did you choose this title?
It was attached to the cartoon on the cover. And I remember the day it came to me. I was in a foul mood. I don't know why I was hating the world, but I'm hating the world. But, I'll go to yoga. When I go to yoga, I leave, I'm usually feeling lovely.
Yeah.
Not this day. This day, the yoga class is over. My instructor, she puts her hand to her heart, namaste, the light in me acknowledges the light in you. And I think, the light in me is acknowledging the dimness in you. All because she was too beautiful, she was too calm, she was too present, and I thought, here's this woman that normally I adore, and
Yeah.
I'm viewing her so harshly, and it's me, it's not her.
Yeah.
She's the same person. I'm the one
Sure.
who's in this crappy place, and it just struck me as funny because I was just grateful that it was me. So I had the
Yeah.
choice to then, switch my perspective.
Part of your mindfulness.
Yeah. So here I am at yoga looking for enlightenment, and what comes up instead? All the ways that I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Thank you so much, Kathy. You're sticking around because after the break, we're getting a peek into her artistic process. Stay tuned.
All right, so we're back with cartoonist Kathy Thorne, and we're going to talk to her about her process. So I'm curious, When did you start drawing and why?
Like most people, I drew as a kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Sure.
Everybody
Yeah,
kinda
but-
picks up a crayon and goes. And then I just got self-conscious. I thought I was strange and weird and odd, and I didn't want people to know that. So I just stopped being creative.
Isn't that where the good stuff is, though?
Yeah.
When you're
Okay,
strange
so
and
now
weird?
Odd,
I
yes.
know. Now I know. And not only that, but as it turns out, I'm not strange or weird and odd.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
You're talented.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. but I'm just saying, like, our thoughts, when we really share our inner workings,
Sure.
Yeah.
then the people relate. They,
Yeah.
they
Yeah, yeah.
get it. It's
But I know what you're talking about, because in those teen years, you do think everything about you that's not what everybody else is doing, you want to hide because you don't want anybody to point at you. So I get that. I think we all kind of go through that process when we're
And
growing
we all
up.
have some form of self-doubt,
Right?
especially when you
Oh,
put
yeah.
yourself out
Yeah.
there.
You think that
through
what
art or
makes
through
you
whatever.
special, you're hiding it because you don't want
Yeah.
people to point it out.
So let me ask you this, Kat. Do you envision the cartoon before you put the pen to paper, or do you know exactly? How does it work?
well, so I get an idea, and I just write it down really quickly, and then I work on that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's finished in 10 minutes. Sometimes I have to keep going back to it. There are cartoon ideas I have that are over a decade old.
No
Wow.
way.
Oh, yeah. Well, they just, I haven't quite gotten to the crux
Wow.
of it yet. Yeah. I have a pile like this high. at
So when that happens, when you start a cartoon and then you can't finish it, do you stress about that, or you just kind of go, I'm
No,
just
no,
going to
no,
leave that
no,
on the
no,
pile?
no. It's the pile.
You
You
just put it in
respect the pile.
Just-
Goes in the pile.
And then when do you revisit it? Do you revisit it like once a month, once a week, or do you just leave it until it comes to you?
Normally, just because for cartoons, you want to use the least amount of words possible. You want to use the least amount of
Sure.
lines possible. So you want to kind of tweak it to get it to
Yeah.
just.
We actually have a picture of your process that I would love if you could just talk us through it.
You know, I did go to art school, so just by the way.
Money well spent, Kathy.
Money well spent. And the thing that was hammered into me all the time was don't be so precious, right?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
to get it down.
Put it down on the paper.
Get it down.
Okay, and then you go on to the next
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, so I start to get rid of some of the words. You can see here that doesn't sound as tasty, that doesn't look as tasty. So
Yeah.
the third one here is my final rough. So this one is in pencil, and I take it, I put it on a light box, and then I place another piece of paper on top of it, and with a marker, essentially, I trace my own work.
Yeah.
And then I scan it in Photoshop, and I add color.
It's
Or you
cool
could take
to
a
see the process.
Yeah, I want to read this
From
one.
initial
Okay.
to end.
So, or you could take a moment and let the stress pass through you. That doesn't sound as tasty. I'm with the girl on the right.
So,
Yeah.
Kathy, before you go, I've got to ask,
Yeah.
what do you hope people will walk away learning from this book?
Just maybe not to take themselves so seriously.
I think it's a great lesson.
And yeah, and that really all it takes, all this mindfulness talk is really just about like breath in. We're doing that anyway. Breath out. Notice who you're sitting next to.
Hi.
What's going on?
You know, and just because when you do that, it's like, oh, it's all right. It's
Yeah,
all
and
right.
also for young people, like you made a really good point earlier about when you were younger, how you were shying away from your own talent.
Yep.
Whatever makes you odd and different, you need to embrace that. That's what's going to make you popular, and you can become a very successful author, like Kathy. And lucky for our audience, Kathy brought copies of her book, Enlightenment, for everyone in our audience. And we're also sending you each home with 2 tickets to this year's yoga conference in Toronto.